Hi everyone, welcome to my video, welcome to my face again. Na na na, na na na. Gotta keep looking at the camera, not at myself. See, when I'm doing that, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, but I'm actually there, and that's looking at me. Isn't it? Yes. Ta-da. Right. So, I wanted to do a year in review, I guess. I know everyone's doing it, but it's the last day of 2025, and I wanted to do just a quick recap for myself and for anyone who watches me, what I've done throughout the year. And I have object permanence, so I forget what I've done the next day sometimes, unless I write it down. And so I've written down what I did. I went through my diary and worked out what I have done. So I've done more than I thought, to be honest. But let's get started, shall we? So I start with January of 2025. And the first thing I did was go to see Nosferatu 3 times. I went with hubby all 3 times. And the first time I went, embarrassingly, I was really tired and I fell asleep through about a third of the film. So we had to go see it a second time so that I knew what I was actually watching. And then it was so awesome. We went and saw it a third time here at the Roses here in Tewkesbury. And it's so good. The music, the video, the filming, the atmosphere, the costuming, everything was great. I loved it. The costuming might not be 100% accurate, but it fit the film so well. It was great. And I liked it so much I bought the DVD so I can watch it whenever I want. And I also got a new tattoo. So that's on my upper left thigh, and it is a hare in sort of the wild with some mushrooms and things like that. That was done by Amy at Black Church Tattoo. Gilded Goat down past Frome. I can never remember the place it is, but I'll put a link to her in the description below. So I got my tattoo. So I haven't had another tattoo since, and I'm hanging out for another one. And I won't be able to afford it this coming year because I've got other things that I've got to spend my money on. So no tattoo this year. Boo. But it was a beautiful tattoo, and I'm really happy with it. February. What did I say I did? I went to a gig. And so in November of last year, sadly, our wonderful cat Nix just suddenly up and passed away. Had a heart attack or a stroke or something, and she just fell over dead. It was really quite upsetting. It still is. But February, we decided that we would foster a cat, and we fostered a cat called Matt, and he was a blind cat, an older gentleman, not too old. I think he was about 5. I think he was 5. I can't quite remember, but he wasn't young, but he wasn't old. He was an average adult cat, but he had gone blind, and we fostered him for 3 weeks until he went to his new home, and he was lovely. He didn't bump into things. He picked up the location of everything in the house really quickly, and settled in really well. And it was so nice to have him. It's amazing how even though you're mourning another one, it was really nice to have another cat in the house. So we had him for 3 weeks. And oh yeah, I resigned from my job. There were issues and I couldn't work in that environment anymore. So I left the job. I resigned from the job at the end of the month. So in March, we went to Torm and Arm, which is the original Reenactors Market, Torm, and Arm is Artisans and Reenactors Market. And they're held on the same day or same weekend in Brighton-on-Dunsmore, which is down near Lamington Spa. And we go there, we buy things from merchants, we look at stuff, we covet wool and things that we don't really need, but because we do reenactment, we sort of need, you know what I mean. Hobbies are spending money. And my last day at the work I was at came around at the end of the month and had a lovely little drinkies thing with the volunteers at the end of the day. So that was really nice. So March was quite quiet. April, I got a new job. I got a new job with G4S, and I was working for the Irish section. So I was handling phone calls from Irish companies, and it was a really good job. It gave me confidence again that I feel I had lost, and I had a wonderful manager. He was amazing. Mo, you are the best. And yeah, so I had that for quite a few months. And I sort of thought, yeah, I'd have that for the whole year. Well, that's a good job. It paid well. I could walk to work. I could walk home from work. It was a long walk. It was 3/4 of an hour walk each way, but I could walk to work. I could walk home. It was interesting and sort of interesting and complex, yet at the same time it was the same sort of thing. So yeah, once I learnt my computer skills for it, I really enjoyed the job. Yeah. We went to an alternative market with friends and we bought some stuff there. That was really fun. We had friends from Australia that had come over and they were visiting us for a few days, Carney and Andrew, and that was really nice because they are actually hubby's friends and I'd never met them before, so I got to meet them for the first time ever in all these years that we've been together. We've been together since 2006 and it is 2025. So 19 years we've been together and I hadn't met them yet. And I started with the local pub singers here in Tewkesbury. So I started back at singing, which was really good. Really enjoy it. So that was April. April was a big year. Well, big month. It was a big month starting a new job. That's always a big month. May was my best friend's birthday party. Mel, and we had a birthday dinner for her. It was very nice. We went to another gig. We went to the Medieval Fair, and we went to another gig, which was Lena Lovitch, who was so cool. Lena Lovitch. She's old, and she had more energy than I felt I had that night. She was there, she sang all her songs, she played saxophone, she danced around. She was amazing, absolutely amazing. If you get the chance to see Lena Lovitch, I would recommend going and seeing her. I think she's supporting a band next year, and I can't remember what the band is, but it's a big band, and Lena Lovitch is supporting. But yeah, she's awesome. Awesome. So June, we saw Video Vision. I get them confused all the time. Video Vision with Goth Dad, Dusty. That was amazing. We'd seen them in as a supporting act for the Chameleons back in the year before, back in 2024. But this was their gig. It was at a small venue in Bristol, and they were just brilliant. The drummer went off, Dusty went off, the keyboardist, who I can't remember her name, I'm really sorry, but she went off. It was just such a good gig, and it was close and intimate, and yeah, and it's a shame that they've stopped performing, because really good, and I'd say go see them, but you sort of can't. We did some pottery painting for our hubby's birthday. We went to a pottery paint place, and where you paint your own pottery, and then they fire it, and then you get it back a few weeks later. So that was really fun. And we went to a music festival. Now, I haven't been to a music festival since, 2005. Oh, 20 years. It's been 20 years since I went to a music festival. This was a one-day festival. It was called Forever Festival, and it had a whole pile of 80s and 90s bands, plus a few new ones. But they had Pill, they had The Damned, they had Billy Idol, and they had the lead, which was Kraftwerk, and that's what I was going to see. The others were amazing, and I really loved them. I loved The Damned, although there was a big kerfuffle. A big kerfuffle, because everyone before The Damned had been running late because they had been having technical issues. So when The Damned came on, they got to play half a set, and then they turned them off. They were playing, and the desk turned it off, and then they removed the desk, and so they couldn't play anymore. And that was really, really shitty. Really shitty. And The Damned were not very happy with it, and neither were the audience. But Kraftwerk, at the end of the night, it had been a long day. It was in Milton Keynes, so we went down and stayed the night before, and stayed that night as well. So we had 2 nights in a hotel not far from it, and then we went to the actual festival for the day. We did the civilized thing. There was no camping on site or anything like that, because it was a one-day event. And Kraftwerk were awesome. The sound of them, they were complex and futuristic and digitized, and it just was in my heart. It was in my chest. It was so good. I still remember it. I loved it so much. I could have listened to them all afternoon. But anyway, so that was the gig, the festival. That was pretty damn awesome for a way of ending June. July, there was the Medieval Fair here in Tewkesbury, and Did I start then? No. Ooh. Hang on a second. I did. So in June, back in June, I got interviewed for a job that I'd gone for an interview the year before and didn't get it. And I had another interview and I got the job, and that was at the Wilson in Cheltenham, and it's the collections officer. So it's exactly what I studied my degree for, in museum collections and care of collections, and I got it. I was pretty excited, and in July I started my new job. So I had to leave G4S, which was sort of a shame because I was enjoying the job and enjoying the staff. They were really, really good, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to work in the field, in the sector I actually trained to work in, and change my whole career to work in. So I started the Wilson in July. So yeah, and we went to another gig. When I say gig, they're usually like nightclub things. that are here locally or down in Bristol, and it's usually alternative music that we go to listen to, funky music, do a bit of dancing, do a bit of jiving. I sound so old. In August, we went and saw another band called Horror Vacui, and they were really good. They were in Bristol, and they were in a small venue, not too small, but they were small enough, and they should have filled it more. It wasn't as full as it should have been. They were really, really good. And the bands before that, I don't know who they were also really, really good. What was so sweet, I do remember the first band was a very young band, and one of them, the parents came to pick him up. It was so cute. But that's amazing, because you get to be in a band and your parents are supporting you. I think that's fabulous. And it was my birthday that month, so we went out for dinner at a Thai restaurant and just had a quiet time. So yeah, that was good. September, Matt was with us for 3 weeks, I should say. So he went back. We got him in, what did I say? We got him in February, and he left in March. So he went to his forever home in March. So then we were a few months without cats. I decided I couldn't really do fostering because I didn't want to give the cats away, and I didn't want to be a foster fail. So I couldn't do fostering anymore. But then I thought, a few months on, yes, we could do that fostering maybe. And then I found someone passed me on the information of a family that were moving to Australia. They had a bonded pair of 11-year-old cats, and they did not want to put them through the 3 months of quarantine and the harsh reality that happens with quarantine at that age. And so a local lost and found, forever homes for animals person, we contacted them and we had a conversation, and we took on Elsa and Ozzy, and they're both sleeping next to me at the moment in a chair because it's cold. And so in September we collected them, and it was pretty good. They were quite afraid because it was a big change for them. They'd been in the same house for years and years and years and years, and they'd been bonded their whole life. So it took them, the usual 3 days to sort of go, and then 3 weeks to come out of their shell a little bit and come downstairs and socialise a little bit and let us pat them and hop on their laps. And then 3 months, pretty much to the letter, they have settled right in, and now they're really settled. So we've had them 4 months now. And yeah, they're really lovely. We went to another gig, and I did something pretty momentous in September. I had my last mental health nurse appointment. So I'd been seeing the mental health nurse and the support team for a few years to help me with my mental health and trauma and my neurodivergence and the death of my mum and a whole lot of things. And we had got to a point where I was not better, but better. I am able to manage my symptoms. I am on medication, but I also manage my symptoms through my DBS training that I've had, and I'm just more mellow about the whole thing. And yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy to say goodbye to my nurse and not, I don't know, not be seeing her anymore. So the whole team were great, and my doctors were wonderful as well. So yeah, a little bit sad about that, but there's been a few wibbly wobbly moments, but overall I'm handling things pretty damn well, which I'm happy I can say that. Yes, I am. October, I started HRT because I've been in menopause and I didn't really know it. Perimenopause and menopause for the last year, and I started HRT in October. So didn't notice a lot of symptoms changing to begin with, but I have now that I've been on it 2 months, coming up 3 months, well, 2 months. I've noticed a difference, and again, I'm more mellow. I don't get the hot flushes. I still have the ringing in the ears, really bad tinnitus, and itchy ears. I found out that they are a symptom of menopause. Who would have thought that? Itchy ears. Bizarre. And we went to another gig. Dun 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 for Halloween. November, I applied for citizenship. I used savings that I had and paid a lot of money and filled out all the paperwork and went to the appointment and got all the paperwork photocopied, and they took photos of me and did my fingerprints, and now I'm in the waiting stage, and it can be up to 6 months before they give you an answer. So November, it's been a month and a half, and it's hard. I keep thinking about it. And then we went to 2 concerts. Went and saw Adam Ant and Gary Newman. Now, interesting about these two, because Adam was the day before Gary. We went and saw them both on the same weekend, because everything happens on the same freaking weekend, as well as Torm and Arm was that same weekend. So we went to Torm and Arm, and then we went straight to Adam Ant that evening, and then we came home, and then we went to Gary Newman the next evening. Adam was in Birmingham, and Gary was in Bristol. So Adam, the audience loved him, and he looked fantastic. He's 70 years old, fantastic, and he still has energy on the stage. But I thought his voice wasn't as strong as it used to be. Maybe it was because it's higher songs and his voice is matured and it's deeper, so maybe it's harder for him to sing those higher notes. But he sang all the classics because, that's what he's known for. And it was a fun evening. I will say it was a fun evening. It was fun also looking at all the people that came, and there were some young'uns. Oh my God, I know I sound old, but there were some young'uns there that obviously had found them maybe through parents, maybe through some sort of thing, I don't know. But it was really good to see another generation or 2 generations there as well as the original generation. So X, Millenniums, and Gen Zs. And then Gary was the next night, and Gary was in Bristol, and he was in a bigger venue. Was he in a bigger venue? Oh, do you know? No, I think he would have been in about the same size venue, if not a tiny bit smaller. But we were standing for that one. We were sitting for Adam. We were standing for Gary. And he's like a year younger, but he is amazing. Like, his energy is phenomenal. His voice is still really good. His music is still really good. I mean, I love Gary Newman music anyway, but it was just fabulous. And he had as his support act his daughter Raven. And I thought, this is going to be a bit cringy. But she was really good. Really good. I would recommend going and listening to her. She's a bit more commercial than Daddy, but she's good. She's good. So yeah, Gary was awesome. And then, because this is November was huge, we went on a choir trip to Germany. And we went the Friday and we had dinner. Then we had the Saturday where we sang in a concert with the German choir that we're twinned with, because Tewkesbury is twinned with a town called Maisbach. I think it's Maisbach in Bavaria. And because we're twinned with them, we sang with the choir that was there. So that was really cool. And then Sunday we had more singing. We had a walking trip on the Saturday. We did stuff and then we came home. Only thing that was a downer for that was that because I didn't have my Visa card, which has expired, and I believe is linked to my passport anyway, I didn't have my card with me. They were like, we're not going to let you out of the country when we were leaving to go back to England. And I had a bit of a stressful situation, but it was all sorted out finally. But it was a little bit stressful, and I did get quite emotionally dysregulated and upset. So, yes. And then December, where we're at now, we had Christmas singing. Didn't do much in the first half of the December. It was quite quiet, just working and enjoying my job, enjoying the cats, and enjoying on HRT. Weird. And did some singing for Christmas things with the pub singers. And then, the best thing of the month, I have to say, was that I got to go into the inner circle of the Stonehenge with the Cotswold Order of the Druids, and got to witness the day of solstice. So not solstice sunrise, but during the day there was a ceremony, and I was part of it, and it was a very meaningful day, and I really loved it. And then we had Christmas Day. You can see the Christmas tree just there. We had it with our besties, and we ate food, and we had music on in the background, and we just sort of had a relaxing day, spending time together. It was really lovely. And then that kind of brings us up to now. So this is quite a long video, I'm sorry. Thanks for sticking with me if you have. It's the last day, and we're not planning to do anything. I might even not make it to midnight, I have to say, because I'm a tired little sausage. And yeah, might have a drink, crack some champagne, wish the new year in to be a positive one, which I hope it is for all of us. I hope it is a much more positive year, that it's full of adventure and excitement and joy and happiness. That's what I want for everyone. And until next time, when I'll do another shoe review, because I've still got more shoes to review, because I have too many shoes. And if anyone is interested in buying any of them, just DM me. I might say yes. Until then, have a wonderful new year. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. I hope you had a wonderful year. And I hope if it wasn't wonderful, it was at least manageable. And you should be very proud that you're here, that you've made it to the end of 2025, and that you are going into 2026 alive. Yeah. Because I lost a few people this year, and memory of people that I've lost before can be sad, but we're here and we're living it and we're enjoying life. So enjoy life. Look after your mental health. Look after your feet, which I was pointing down to, but my hand went down there. Enjoy enjoy life. Yeah, enjoy life. Okay, and as Emily Boo says, stay strange, and as all my other people that I follow, stay weird, stay strange, stay gloriously yourself. Okay, bye everyone. Bye bye bye. Bye 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 bye.